So welcome to our very first video in our OS shooting tips series. We thought the best place to start is at the very beginning, and we start every one of our classes with safety. So we're going to go over the 4 most common safety rules that we teach on a range. Number 1 is treat every firearm as if it's loaded. As you can see on this particular firearm, and this is how we do it in our class, when it is on the firing line, the bolt is open and to the rear, so I can visually inspect the chamber. I can look down in and I can see daylight, stick my finger in and see that there is no ammunition in the rifle either. So the second one is do not point your firearm at anything you're not willing to kill or destroy. We spent a lot of time on this one because at our long range schools, we've got up to 14 shooters at one time. We have a long line and we're swapping rifles back and forth between our shooters and our spotters. So one of the most common things that can happen is they pick up the rifle, and when they have it in their hand, they turn and they just swept 13 other people on the line with their firearm. That is not what we want to do. So here's what we teach in our class. They pick the rifle up, bolt is to the rear, they inspect, there's no ammunition in the chamber, muzzle goes up, we have racks to the rear of the range house, place it in in the rack. So, and then same thing, obviously just in reverse, whenever they come back, they set it in the rest, and now they're ready to go. So the third one is trigger finger outside the trigger guard. So you can see here, this is your trigger guard. Keep it outside the trigger guard until you have acquired your target and you're ready to squeeze the trigger. The main reason for this one is if your finger is not on the trigger, you can't have an accidental discharge. And then the fourth one is knowing what is beyond your target. Now the best reason I can give you for that is whenever you're out hunting, you've got your eye on a trophy of a lifetime, and that's what your focus is on. You put the crosshairs on, you squeeze the trigger, your elk goes down, but so did the elk behind it. Now you just killed 2 elk and you've got 1 tag. That's a huge problem. So always know what lies beyond your target. Okay, so let's recap real quick. Number 1 is treat every firearm as if it's loaded. Number 2, do not point your firearm at anything you do not intend to kill or destroy. Number 3, keep your trigger finger outside the trigger guard until you've acquired your target and you're ready to shoot. And number 4, know what lies beyond your target. So for our next video in the series, you can click here and we're going to cover 2 things that you absolutely must do before going live on the range.